In 2016, a controversial bill made its way to the Nigerian House of Representatives. Nigerian activists dubbed it as anti-NGO bill. And guess what? Oh my God. It managed to pass both the first and the second reading in the House. The bill was so unpopular and highly criticized, and many groups, both the private sector and civil societies, wanted the bill gone. The group said that it had some clauses here and there that could potentially harm human rights and limit freedom of speech and expression, literally meaning you're gagged. Fortunately, due to tireless campaign efforts of civil society groups, the bill was never signed into law. I know, you're getting excited. Calm down, we're getting somewhere. The incident sparked widespread discussions as to how much civic rights in Nigeria seem to be under attack, leaving smaller and smaller room for activists and civil society organizations to effectively play their role in upholding democracy, a concept that is widely known as shrinking civic space. Now class is in session. Shrinking civic space. This is a concept that you may or may not have heard of, but this is currently a growing concern among civil and human rights activists in Nigeria. There is already an alliance of civil society organizations in Nigeria that is dedicated to addressing this issue. So, it is a serious problem. But before the concept of shrinking civic space is fully explained, it is important to first understand the term civic space. And to do that, we need to look into the Nigerian Constitution. Section 14 of the Constitution states, participation by the people in their government shall be ensured. This means that every Nigerian citizen has a fundamental right to be part of the governance process, and the government is obligated by law to ensure that this happens by creating necessary space for such participation. This space is what is often referred to as civic space. You get it? Good. Where citizens are given the freedom to influence government policies, hold the government to account, demand transparency from public office holders, and the like. The Nigerian civic space has a rich and storied history. Just think about it. This dates back to the colonial era when market women challenged outrageous tax policies of the British government, all the way to the military era of the 90s when pro-democracy movement fought to restore democratic rule. This long-standing tradition of activism and engagement has shaped the foundation of civic participation in Nigeria and continues to be a source of inspiration for present-day efforts to safeguard democratic principles and human rights. That's our rights, your own and my own. Nigerians have continued to organize themselves to engage the government through recognized groups such as community and faith-based organizations, and not forgetting the non-governmental organizations as well. Unfortunately, the civic space in Nigeria is rapidly diminishing. Literally, they depress us. Activists and civil society organizations are facing increasing restrictions to function effectively, making the conversation on shrinking, you see where my hands are going? Shrinking civic space very necessary. We need to be talking about it every day. Nigeria faces the possible risk of descending into an authoritarian state whereby me and you, our civic and human rights is out of the window. What is most alarming is that the actions of the government that undermine these rights could potentially be backed by law. This is a very real possibility. Now, let's take it a step back. Do you still remember the story that we mentioned earlier on about the anti-NGO bill introduced in the House of Representatives? The one that faced opposition from civil societies and was eventually prevented from becoming a law? Yes, right. You're here with me. Calm down. That is one of the many examples of how the civic space is under attack and thus shrinking. Allow me to explain. Calm down. You see, if that bill is passed into law, massacre don sabi Kuba. Firstly, it would have been a crime for any civil society organization in Nigeria to carry out any activity without government approval. Can you imagine? All it would have taken for a regulator to deregister any organization is a simple suspicion. Just imagine. Suspicion that the organization could be a threat to national security. Just like that. just a suspicion, without any need to show proof of evidence. To make matters worse, no challenge, absolutely no challenge can be put up in the court because the law would have shielded them from any legal consequences. Can you believe that? This is the bill that came this close to becoming law in Nigeria. Unbelievable. I better calm down. The sad reality is that lawmakers keep coming up with these bills that have serious consequences for civic rights. Another similar example is the hate speech bill. The hate speech bill was proposing giving the death penalty to anyone who spreads information that indirectly leads to someone's death. I mean, seriously, that's a bit extreme, don't you think? Thankfully, none of these bills successfully became law. However, there are existing laws that do contain some serious controversial clauses that can be legally exploited to attack free speech. One of such is the Cybercrime Act of 2015. According to Section 24 of this act, let me bring out my barrister. It is a criminal offense to send any online message that can cause, wait for it, annoyance, insult, and check this one out. Calm down. Inconvenience. Yes, you heard it right. Inconvenience. Well, according to Nigeria cybercrime laws, if you make a post about a government official or a politician and that post annoys them, I mean, vex them, they provoke, say you do post, guess what? In a prison you dey go. Babe, 3 years, you will shop iron beans. And if you're lucky, you could be slapped with a heavy fine of not more than 7 million naira. In this age, where I was here, 7 million naira. Both the 3 years and the 7 million. As how? It's shocking, Abi. And this law has been used time and time again by politicians to go after individuals who have dared to criticize them. I mean, like, say, your local government chairman not doing a road. You tell and say, bro, say, local government chairman, our road, how far? You don't offend them with that. 7 million or 3 years. I said, it's like a political weapon to silence dissent, a blatant abuse of power and clear threat to freedom. This type of controversial law in a country like Nigeria is quite worrying, considering its not so good record on human rights and free speech. Over time, the Nigerian government has issued pronouncements that have harassed media bodies and restricted protests. Years after the EndSARS protests, you remember? Calm down. Wait, you want to say, Kai, calm down. More than 300 protesters are still documented to be in detention. Certain elements within the government have continued to demonstrate potential for excesses and abuse of power. I mean, they get power pass and Schwarzenegger. Terminator. Shouldn't we be creating laws that place checks on those excesses rather than encouraging them? I'm just asking for a friend though. So what do you do to solve this problem? For starters, as citizens, we need to be vigilant and closely monitor new bills introduced in the Nigerian parliament. This may be good bills with good intentions on the surface, but my brother, that but is very big. It is crucial for everyone to carefully scrutinize, look between the happy and ways of the bill. Even if the bill claims to be distributing money to all Nigerians, it now means say you not go see put eye well on top am. Most important is making your voice heard. So, join the conversation on social media and every other platform. Speak up, open your mouth, talk. Person will not talk, you know the talk. Speak up against any attempt to further shrink the civic space because this affects all of us. Us, all, everybody. Because it's only a matter of time before 9 Nigerians like you and I will be picked up from our homes and thrown in jail because of a personal post on Facebook or WhatsApp. Oh, wait. It's already happening. Wow. It's already happening. So, we need to sit up, speak up, Because strengthening the civic space in Nigeria requires collective action from everyone. I mean collective, not one side. All sides. One wise man talks say, they beat you, you know open mouth. It shows say they sweet you. We must come together to ensure protection of free speech and freedoms in Nigeria. If you have watched this video up to this moment, you are doing well. It shows you are doing well. And if you are still wondering, what can I start to do right now? Well, start by liking or sharing this video with your contacts. It will not take you more than 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 seconds. Press that button. I mean that button. Press it. Press it. The more you do that, the more people will see this video and be informed. We also want to hear more ideas from you on how to protect free speech in Nigeria. Please leave your comments below. I'm watching.